harassment.
He's being charged civilly for $250 million.
By your husband?
By this guy that used to act for him. On the West Coast.
Oh, I misunderstood that.
Yeah. There's nothing special about that. He's gay, man.
He's gay, but it just feels like now there's a flood of people charging people.
Yeah,
Fat Joe is being charged with sexual
Yeah, that's
assault
what I'm saying.
as
Why are they
well.
going after all these guys?
Yeah, I don't know.
These
You
guys
tell
are
me.
becoming really
Because
rich.
they're not obedient anymore. They're not obedient anymore.
Obedient to who?
Right? To the masters, man. To the master.
You can't just do what you want out here, right?
Yeah, the master is
Well,
trying
look
to,
what's happening. I'm doing what I want.
the master is trying to control them now. You know? They're trying to take back their power. But
It started to feel like a conspiracy to me with the more I started seeing the Diddy trial.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that was coming out with the Diddy trial.
that he's gonna win, man.
It's erotic fiction. It's an erotic, like
Yeah,
soft
yeah,
porn
it's
stuff.
not new, man.
Nothing's
It's-
criminal.
It's not new. It's a $1 million play. It's $1 billion plays there. The Playhouse.
Right.
You know, it's not. Yeah.
And I'm
They've been
not
doing
even
it.
the one
They've
to
been doing
really
that
see
forever.
stuff like that.
Like I said, Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
What do you think goes on there?
Oh yeah. The Playboy Mansion was the originator.
Where do you think you learned it from?
Yeah.
Where do you think you learned it from? Exactly.
That's the culture.
That's right. That's right.
You heard Fat Joe too now is facing charges?
No, I
They're
never-
trying to say he was trying to murder people. He was with young girls.
You ever see the one with Trump? All these pictures with Trump, and those girls look like 12.
Yeah.
With Trump?
All those girls he used to be around.
He
Like,
boasted about.
yeah, boasted about.
And
Well,
he's not being questioned about
Okay,
that
but
stuff.
this is the thing about Trump. Did you guys know that he was the one that blew the whistle on Epstein? Because Epstein was recruiting young girls from Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yo.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Protecting him.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No.
Just Maxwell.
You think they could have
So yeah, also just feels like the fastest way to kind of just come up now. This is like everybody's lotto ticket. The fact that you knew somebody, the fact that somebody might have
Yeah.
something might have happened to you in the past, and now it's time to like, okay, everybody's
Right.
cashing in, cash in.
Right.
There's a billionaire in Toronto who will be buying
What do you think it is? It's just like the era of trying to get up, or a new Me Too, or conspiracy against.
All of the above.
Okay.
People tend to question why they did it. Doesn't really matter. They did it for their own gratification.
Well, I feel like it's kind of
If they're
like,
doing it for their own gratification, then they shouldn't ask for money.
if you were involved.
You're right.
If you enjoyed the time, you shouldn't be able to sue or anything, is what you're saying.
No, he was saying it's for their own personal gratification, right? So I was just saying, well, then they shouldn't do it for money.
And actually,
If
when
they're
I
like
was out in Vancouver,
a victim.
The women I was sleeping with, I didn't really want to sleep with them, but I needed money.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. So, do you have a right now to turn around and say, oh, sexual assault?
Yeah,
that
he
night
does.
that night I didn't want
No,
it.
I do not.
Because they
technically
used
did.
power and coercion to get what they wanted from him. So yes, they were in a position of power.
Then I sexually assaulted all my women because I bought
No,
them cars and
they
houses.
sexually assaulted you.
But I bought for every woman I've lived with. I bought her cars and houses.
You said specifically in Vancouver.
So why is it different? So it's different if it happens to me, I'm a victim, but if it happens to women, they're not. Get lost. That's ridiculous.
Why does it always come back to yours?
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It always come back to Stu's story.
Yeah.
No, but
We're
no,
talking
I'm
about
just giving
something
my
totally
opinion.
different, bro. We're talking about something
Okay.
totally different.
But they're saying if a woman, they're
Protests
fools.
happening with ICE. I think it's settled down now in LA.
Nice.
But yeah.
It's good for those Cubans, man.
You don't find
Hey,
you don't think they could be handling this a little bit
no,
differently?
it's good for the Cubans. Send them out.
They wanted this.
Hey, those Cubans are too racist, man.
They wanted this,
They
yo.
wanted that. They sing about Trump and we give it to them.
Yeah. A large.
I did see this one
Listen.
woman that was like voting for Trump, and I was like, what was she
Listen.
thinking was gonna happen?
A
Because
large-
now her husband got
a large-
deported.
Then her husband got
Proportion of the
it.
Hispanic
her
community
husband got
voted for him. I would even argue the majority of the
Hey,
Hispanic community
hey, watch
that
out.
voted
I know, and I'm
voted
trying to
for him.
remember why. I'm
So-
trying to remember on what basis.
You know,
Look,
you
there's
know,
a guy-
all what's going on here is all about making money, you know. Trump is making money for his supporters.
Yo, there's
for
a
the guys
guy-
that finance his election. right? Because those
Doge earned a lot of
guys,
fiscal
those guys who
powers.
finance the election, they have big prisons, and prisons in America is all it's privatized. So what do you think? It's about
Put yourself in your own rat trap.
$200 a day for one person, man.
I heard that. I also heard they were selling people to Venezuela, but I wasn't sure
Selling
how
people to
accurate
Venezuela.
that was.
Hey, you see the guy that this guy I saw him on Instagram. He's like, "Oh yeah, they deport me to Mexico.
But I'm back."
I'll be back in 2 weeks."
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he document all his trip back. I
yeah.
was like, look at that.
I know. But them pulling kids from
Oh, yeah, yeah,
elementary
yeah, yeah.
them pulling the parents from school graduations
So you know that
and the parents running away from the kids, there has to be a better way, right? What's the better way? There has to be a more
honestly, I don't agree when they take the parents away from their kids. At least they should take the kids and the mom together, but don't separate because they put these kids in foster homes and they get molested and all these crazy stuff. Sometimes they don't even know where to put the kids.
system.
They lost the kids in the system, man. They have kids that came fine from the last time he was in power.
I just can't remember why they were voting for him. Why they're so enthusiastic about voting for him, because it's really like come full circle to bite them in the butt. And I'm hearing ICE is not even, it's based on racial profiling. They're picking up people that look Hispanic, because that's just what it is. Yeah. And they've got their faces covered.
What are you talking about?
ICE.
What about him?
How do you do it more humanely? So that you're not kidnapping
I don't care how they do it. They voted him in.
Kidnap people for marrying.
Hey, the ICE,
How do you
What would be the,
How do you-
ask yourself that question?
honor the mandate to deport illegal people in a humane way? That's the question.
What would be considered the humane? What would you think would be
You could have a
considered?
I'm not sure. I thought about it because then I was having this discussion
Because
with
our
my
way-
friend,
here,
and
our
he was
way-
saying as soon as you give them notice, they
you
might
don't
make
have to
them
be
run away.
legal. You don't have
So,
to be
but there
legal
has to
to get.
be.
You don't have to
Because
be
you
legal
know
to
our
get
way,
in America.
our way of deportation is way worse than the way it goes on in
How does it go on in Canada?
because they lock your ass in an actual prison here for years before your ass gets on a plane. There was a man there for almost 8 years sitting there with no charge.
That's nonsense.
No, whoa. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know this one, bro. There's not documented evidence about this one, bro, so don't. You're gonna lose your bar license if you even argued at this one.
Excuse me, call Nori Ormston. He was the head of immigration. I went to law
Bro,
school,
I'm
he's a
really
close
close,
friend.
bro.
He will tell you you're a moron. I won't because I'm
He's become so belligerent lately.
What makes you say ignorance?
Yo, there's a man that was sued, though. He was in there for almost 8 years. What are you talking about? You can Google this. You know that, right? And he was in the West Detention, I believe, right?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
But then, well, he's still here.
How do you
No,
do
they had him
it?
sued. He had to get out, man. Watch.
How do you do mass deportation in a humane way?
What's that?
How do you do mass deportation in a humane way?
I don't know. They're not living under my roof.
This is fact.
Legal employee.
Oh, yeah. It's fact, bro.
No, I was asking Kevin if it's something that he read, because I'm explaining to Stu that I don't think he's just.
Do you want me to give you a 15-second response?
Well known. It was well known. It's in news and everything.
He's not making it up. He's obviously.
You call
He's
them
very
an
simple.
idiot.
Yeah, but
There's nowhere to go from there.
one of the things
Just let it go. That's all you got to do. If you know something, you don't have to. That's what gets you in trouble online, bro. That's what gets you in trouble online. You gotta watch your mouth, bro. You gotta watch what you're saying.
You know what? I have to. You know what, Stu? You're right. I was wrong. It wasn't 7 years. It was 12 years. Look, his name is Herman Emmanuel Fancom from
Okay.
Cameroon.
There you go.
Held in an immigration custody in Toronto for nearly 12 years.
Yeah.
He is the longest serving immigration detainee in Canada. He was arrested in 2023 for fraud and has refused to identify himself, making his removal in Canada difficult. There's another guy that hasn't even been charged with a charge because he's supposed to be deported, and he was sitting there for almost 7 years in the West Detention.
Well, I'm glad you're able to prove yourself right.
So he's still in there.
But it's 2020.
He's still in there?
Hold on.
But
No.
he wasn't in there for 8 years. He
Oh,
was
it
arrested
was
in
that guy
2020.
who was doing all the housing.
See, so
I'm
you're wrong.
confused. This is
Spin
messing
off
with my brain.
shit.
I don't really care about that
It
stuff.
gets even
You
worse.
guys,
Read the Ken Lee case, not the
It's not
reporter's
Peter.
opinion.
Mr. Gowdy, it
Yep.
gets even worse. He spent 103 consecutive days in solitary confinement right now.
Which is illegal, so I wonder how that happened.
No.
It's absolutely illegal. No, it's absolutely illegal. He should
In the
do that.
States, you guys are lucky. You guys are getting off pretty good.
People are disappearing. Now.
Bro, this went in front of the UN. The UN had to step in and said release his ass.
And what happened?
No, you said you knew. You said you knew.
Yeah, exactly. I know. You said to
You were right. You were, yeah. He's lucky I didn't hear that. But if you call me that ever again, I swear to God, I'll knock you the fuck out.
Too much. I
If
feel
you
like
ever call me a moron,
it's unnecessary.
that's one warning you're gonna get. Don't ever, ever, ever call me no fucking name. None of my friends do it here. You ain't gonna get a pass.
It's bad.
Bud, I dare you to, bro.
be wrong, Stu. Not everybody's right. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? Why do you care so much? I don't understand why you care so
I
much.
don't know if there was a camera here, I wouldn't respond.
Right now, something interesting is happening in the world. So,
Trump Gaza?
Israel and Iran. And kind of like, what we're seeing now is that because Israel, the buildings are falling there too now, they're having to hide, they're reaching out for sympathy, and they're not getting any sympathy. There's no sympathy to be had. Right? So they're being bombed by Iran, but everybody's like, yeah, about time. About time. For 2 years we watched you bomb all these hospitals, kill these kids. So
It's all bullshit though. Like,
somebody just said that to me now.
Like,
They're
it's-
saying that's all AI, which I don't believe.
I don't even know. I don't know about that part, but I'm just saying, like,
Well, American, Israeli weapons are not AI because they're real weapons, but they're completely controlled by computers right now. Right? Their guns at the borders are AI robots. They don't.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, so yeah, and everybody who listens to the Israelis are in safe shelters. So how many people killed? How many people got killed?
I'm relieved there are a lot of people killed. I don't
couple
want a ton
dozen,
of
a
people
couple
killed
dozen.
anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
No, it's horrific. It's
but
horrific.
I do think that in terms of just the buildings crumbling and stuff like that, I think it's a good lesson because we did see a lot of videos of
It's a horrible
making
lesson.
fun of people. Iran and Israel.
I didn't want to go there.
No, not talking about the war, but more talking about the response and people's response. Kind of not having any
I didn't want
sympathy.
to. I didn't want to go down that road. That road is like.
It's the oldest road there is.
Fill the potholes.
I don't know why they tell us this stuff. Well, you guys are fighting your war. Why the hell are you telling? Why are you telling us your
Because
business?
it sells on
If
the
you have,
media.
if you're doing, just do it. What you trying to get? You're trying to get other people's emotions and stuff
Well,
involved.
this is what's
You know what I'm saying?
interesting.
Like, don't do
Because
it.
now more than ever,
'Cause we
public
don't-
opinion does sway stuff. Public opinion has like this huge impact, especially online public
I
opinion.
can't tell.
Who control the media? Who control the media?
Can't tell.
It depends which media you're talking
down.
about.
The
The
majority
people's
of media
media?
in the world.
I can't tell because all those protests they're doing, are they working? I don't think so. So public opinion, maybe here it doesn't work. I don't know.
What I'm seeing is, in terms of America helping Israel against Iran, a lot of Americans are speaking up against it, and that has had an effect on kind of
Bro,
Trump's
that
response.
laugh was horrible yesterday, man. I was so pissed.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, all they have to do is just not tell people. Like, it's so simple. If they don't say anything, no one's gonna know. But we don't really know what the hell they do.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Great point, because there was a time when we didn't know.
Right.
There was a time when we didn't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they were doing whatever they wanted
Right.
to.
That's what I'm saying.
And then telling us whatever.
Right,
It was
thank you.
definitely a lot more convincing.
They do that.
There's a need, though, to involve us and a need to win our side.
Right. Because it affects us too. Because people are kill them. Like we shouldn't even be talking like that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
No.
No, I know.
Lisa,
But they put
why
that
not
stuff
look
in
at
us.
simply the consequences? What's happened?
What's happening where?
The consequences. What are the consequences? How many Israelis have been killed in this attack? Not even a quarter. Not even 5% of what were killed in the first attack.
Yeah.
Right? Not even 5%,
Yeah.
and they
And
don't
that's
really
why they're having a
care.
hard time getting the world sympathy right now. I just thought it was really interesting to like see how that play out.
The world sympathy doesn't matter to them. They don't care anymore. They have Trump. They have the largest army. They have the largest nuclear arsenal in the world.
Yeah, Bibi said
And
we
now
have a
they have the
superpower.
Americans,
We
the
have a
second
superpower.
largest. So together, Israel and United States, along with Saudi, who is supporting them, can do anything they want. And they are. No other president would allow Netanyahu to behave this way. Think about that.
But what's getting in the way of... Okay, so this is the criticism. The criticism is that that's not actually America's agenda. That's Israel's agenda that America is following. And that by following that agenda, it's not MAGA. So now you've got the MAGA movement that's standing there and being like, none of this is America first. We want America to be first. And you promised no more wars. Which is like amazing. I wasn't the only person that was hoping Trump was no more wars. People were really hoping Trump meant no more wars.
Right.
So that's fantastic. So people are like, no, you said no more wars. We're especially not going to do this, keep doing this with Israel. And that's kind of been the roadblock to kind of just railroad.
For roughly 40 years, Israel has wanted to destroy Iran. They
I
wanted
know.
to stop the program. They could not do that. They can't do it today without America.
Thoughts on how Israel feels now? You must have a thought on that.
He's welcome all fatties.
One little thought.
No.
It's anything, any thought. How does your heart feel?
If I talk, everyone's gonna be offended. You guys already know where I stand.
No, I don't know where you stand on this. After 2 years.
I stand with my family. My family was under the bridge hiding the other day.
Really? See, that's important to say. Can we change the political system without violence?
Based on what history says, no. The power I be never wants to give up their power. That is the addiction to power.
I think
That
eventually
is-
it's going to change though.
It has to change.
A new living
It has
system.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, a new living
Because
system.
because people are getting smarter, man, and wiser. Like I said, the killing doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, who's winning here?
It's because we live. You know what? I come to the conclusion it's because we live a monetary system. Everything we do is based on some sort of monetary value as
Yeah.
opposed to a credit system.
Okay, really?
You know, like actually, the idea in Star Trek,
What's the Star
because
Trek
in
thing? I
Star
don't know.
Trek they got rid of money. They don't have money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's based off of personal achievements and your contribution to society.
Oh, okay.
Is your ranking. Is your ranking, right? So the motivation is to contribute, not to become rich. You know what I mean? Not like monetarily wise.
How good of a citizen are you?
I believe I'm a good citizen.
No, I'm saying that's what it's based on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because things have to change. The thing is,
It's the monetary system. Like I look at it as, you know, people don't invent things to be like. When you look at the inventions of the world, it wasn't like, oh, I invented this to become rich.
yeah, a lot of
You know what I mean? Like,
to solve a problem.
yeah, like they invented it, you know, they did it to solve, and that was the gratification, like the process of that invention, you know, or the process of materializing the idea into something that you can see now. You know what I mean? It was that journey is the value, as opposed to now, okay, we got this product, we got this cell phone now. How much we're gonna sell it because we need to make billions of dollars.
Well, this is what's weird too. Trump's presidency has become very commercial.
And then
He's
also,
coming out with the cell phone.
if you look at a lot of those,
You have the shoes.
The shoes, the cell phone. He's got a meme coin.
yeah,
Who's exploiting
That's
it?
worth-
I feel like it's his kid.
bro,
Someone's exploiting
brand.
that name.
I think they just said, I could be wrong, that he gained another $3 billion in wealth.
You did?
Yeah, bro, he's worth like $6 billion now.
Really?
Yeah, Forbes. I think Forbes said when they did the new valuation for him,
Yeah.
his coin, the value of his social media that site,
Yeah.
his holding. The only thing that he's losing money on still is his property.
Why is that? Because
I don't know. It's
there's
just
no
the
value in
market.
it?
It's because of the
Okay.
market, right? But
Because people love controversy, and he's
Yeah.
perfect. So he plays the role. Like,
He
He's just
exploits
milking
that
it, man.
name, though. Yeah, he'll milk it.
Yeah.
Everything is gold.
Right.
Trump gold.
Right. So that's why he says the most outlandish things and everybody.
No one has a right to get mad at him. I'll be honest with you.
No one has a right to
No
get
one
mad.
has a right to get mad at him right now.
Why?
Because he's shown you and he's told you who he is. He's not lying. The man has not lied. He's been very upfront and forthright with what he said he's going to do, what he's going to try to do, and you know what type of person he is.
I feel like he gets
So,
misled, though.
this
He gets misled and pulled into
the
some
man is in his
directions.
80s. He's
Yeah.
he's not changing, okay?
Yeah, that's
This idea that he's going to become some whoring thou Christian all of a sudden and repent his sins and all this kind of stuff and change his ways. The man has been like this for the last what? Since I've known. Since the 80s. Braggadocious, you know what I mean?
For sure.
In the center of attention.
But I also worry easily misled.
What? How?
Easily misled.
Tell me one thing that he misled everyone with.
Okay, flipping Elon Musk in South Africa.
That's not a mislead.
Sitting there, yeah, showing that video of the cross.
The amount- say it
showing
again?
them saying that there's white genocide happening in South Africa.
That's what he
made him look
believes.
like a fool. It's because Elon put that.
Well,
in
why
his
would
head.
people be surprised that he would say something like that though?
I'm not talking about being surprised. I'm talking about him being.
why would you be mad at him
Give me an
when-
example of easily
Okay,
misled.
look.
This is an example.
Okay, watch this.
Trump
I'll
being
give you a
easily
perfect
misled is
example.
my point.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Yes.
There's a white KKK man in a hood standing in front of me, right? The assumption I would have to take is he's going to call me a nigger, right? So I would prepare myself that he's going to call me that, right? Because I know that's what he represents. He has a hood on. It's a white hood. I'm not saying this is Trump. I'm just giving you, maybe it's an extreme example, but you know who's in front of you. You know based off of history what is going to happen with this person in front of you.
Okay. So.
And then on top of it, you vote him in. Not once, twice.
For sure.
And I bet you if he could do it 3 times, those motherfuckers will vote him
Vote him
3
in,
times
yeah,
again.
So people do feel.
Bro,
people
so how can
agree
you
with
get
you
mad at him?
True.
because they feel like he's waffling and turning back on his word.
So?
What if
He
his
does that all the
specific
time.
words was no more wars?
No, people don't need to learn his language. He has a language. Everyone has a language, how they speak. And if you're by now don't know how to speak Trump, then you are illiterate. Period. End of discussion.
If you don't
Go
know
back to
this
school.
Trump,
Straight
you're
up. Because
illiterate.
I understand him. I know what his moves are. I know what he's going to do. I know how he does his quote-unquote business. His deals. That we know that playbook, bro. We've seen that. We grew up with men that do that all the time.
Right.
They call it, you know what it's called? Extortion. And he's doing it legally. Come on. There's a term for it. It's called extortion.
Here's an interesting fact.
He's not even good at it. Because he does it so boldly. He's not even slick behind your back. You know what I mean? He's not even like a magician, like, you with both things. Yeah, he's not even discreet with it.
Yeah.
Politicians do it discreetly. I laugh. Honestly, I laugh. I'm sorry. Good for you. As what our parents would say. Good for you.
Here's one.
Sexologists
Sexologists say women get bored with monogamy faster than men.
What's up?
Women get bored with monogamy faster than men.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
What do you mean? 100% Pete, no? Yes?
I don't know, but they say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems possible.
It is possible. It is possible. It's not possible. It's true. It's very possible.
These are numbered.
Women get bored with monogamy faster than men.
Yeah.
Believable? I thought that was amazing. It's because women seem long-suffering in relationships.
They're the victim, right?
That's how I've always seen it.
They're always the victim.
Yeah, always.
Yeah?
I've never heard them say to their girls, you know, I fucked up.
Women don't cheat.
Exactly. exactly.
exactly.
Hey, women cheat
Well,
more.
not unless they're
Hey,
forced to.
women cheat
Unless
more
they're
than men.
pushed to cheat.
No, but
Oh,
I gotta
they're
give
forced.
women props though.
Push
Women
to
don't
it.
sell out women with certain women code.
But you know, women.
They never do that.
Hey, women
I
cheat.
don't know. It depends. Women
You guys
could
will
be-
always
women
back
could
each
be-
other,
it
even though you know you're wrong.
It depends. If we want the same guy,
Well,
a
women
woman's
cheat-
gonna
women
rap
cheat
to
more than
that
men.
guy.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm saying
I would
backing
say-
each other, like.
Women cheat more than men.
Women cheat more than men.
You already know that's
Women
true.
cheat more
Come
than
on,
men.
you already know that's true. You're a woman.
Women cheat more than men.
Tell the truth.
I know all my friends. Most of my friends.
Women friends.
All my friends
Don't say
cheat.
friends. That means
All
guys too.
my female friends do have like other options.
They always have a
But
backup.
I assume men are the same way.
She put it politically
No, no,
correct.
no. Having a backup within itself
She
is
put
cheating.
it politically correct.
I love that term, eh? Backup.
Have other options. Have other options.
Yeah, just in case.
That's the case.
Just in case guy. A guy that's like answering the phone when your man's not or when your favorite's not.
That's some evil shit, yo.
What are you talking about?
When you think about it within itself, that is some wicked things, yo.
But every woman does
You have
it.
a backup man. Holy. Holy
Just in case.
shit. You guys are the best. That's why.
What's the upper hand?
I do it first.
Ah, there you go. See? You're playing yourself.
I do it first.
I tricked you. Women don't even cheat. I was
Hey.
just lying.
Oh, you know what, too? What makes it work? Some men don't mind being the backup plan.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like most people, well, people with like commitment issues, that's not a bad
No,
deal.
are there simps?
You. Oh my gosh, this guy. For the
You hear all the
record.
time?
I do.
For the
You hear
record.
all the time?
I've never seen Mazini with the same friend.
No. Oh,
Since I've known him, I've never seen him with the same friend twice.
no, don't.
No.
Someone different,
Hey, listen, you're allowed to have friends. You're allowed to have friends.
For
You're allowed to
sure.
have friends.
For
We
sure.
have many friends.
For sure.
I've never seen you with the same friend now that I think about it. You
Time
know
snap.
what I'm saying? You got some friends. You got a lot.
That's getting
Big
edited.
no.
I've been the same friends for
You got an
decades.
image to keep uphold.
No.
It's been held. It's
Listen,
been
I'm
held.
giving out love, man. I'm the love. You know what I'm
No,
saying? I
that's
like
important.
love and prosperity
That's
to everybody.
We gotta use it later on when he becomes famous, and we could, use it against him for some money.
I can
You
do
love
that.
me, bro. I thought you loved me.
Taking notes.
You been plotting already?
Yo, I gotta learn from the best. Puff, bro.
Listen.
Puff was a man for
Now,
that.
let me tell you something.
He was a future thinker.
Don't learn from Puff. Please.
No, I
You
know.
learn from Suge Knight at least. Say Suge
Sure.
Knight at least.
Yeah, I know,
Just say
I know.
Suge. Don't say
That's
Puff
true,
at
that's
least.
true.
You know what I'm
That's true,
saying?
that's
Don't
true.
go down that path.
That's true.
We
That's
can't
true.
follow you that way.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Okay, Puff though, because
You
you
can
heard
only
that's
be who you
happening
are.
to Tyler Perry too. It's happening to Fat
What's happening to
Joe.
Tyler Perry?
Accusations,
Oh, yeah, that's
charges.
You know something? You shouldn't be thinking about those guys. These guys have too much money.
Well, that's the thing. They're being pulled for their money now.
Yeah. well,
Yeah, every time we talk
Have you
about
ever
it,
seen
we go,
anything weird? You're in the industry, and especially when you're trying to get into the industry. Has there ever been anything that made you feel like, yo, this is
Weird.
weird, or this is
I've seen some
wrong,
stuff
this
happen to
is
some.
like-
I've seen some stuff happen to some people.
Yeah.
But the thing is this: you have a responsibility once you reach that level, and if you're not responsible, that's on you. There's a lot of guys, famous gentlemen, that just to interact with them, you need to sign an NDA,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Just you want to sleep with me? Here's an NDA.
Yeah.
I think Dave Chappelle made a joke about it.
Yeah.
You remember that, right? And he's like,
Somebody
yo,
did
you
something,
gonna be giving me head? Put that in the contract. You know what I'm saying? You kind of have to
Yeah.
protect yourself.
Yeah.
or just have one woman.
No,
Just
but that's the
have one
responsibility.
woman.
Yeah.
That's the responsibility part. There's a lot of, so if you look at a lot of people like Shaq, you don't really see in scandals like that.
No,
Shaq's
he had a long-term
Snoop
relationship.
Dogg too had a long-term relationship. A lot of guys
Even
that
though
have-
they mash up years later, they still had.
you still had one lady there that was
Snoop
kind
has
of.
one lady. Shaq not so much.
No, but they're-
Shaq had wasn't a long-term relationship.
Yeah, no, did they? Is he still
He was
together?
married, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but I'm just
But they
saying,
almost broke up at one point.
But I'm sure she knows that.
Yeah.
Yo,
Has to.
You have to have your
You know
ride
how
or
to-
die,
I know
yo.
people rate that one
Yeah.
still.
You have to
Because
have
Snoop
your
has
ride
been
or
in
die.
pornos. Snoop
Yeah,
has been.
exactly.
for example,
Yeah, he had a porn
And I'm
company.
not gonna rat either, but I'm gonna talk about it. Because meth is one of those men too that they put in that category.
Oh,
Method
come on,
Man.
it's Method Man.
He's
Come
been married
on.
for 20 years, but I know meth. Every
Come
time
on.
I see meth in Toronto,
His wife can't be. Come on. Like,
every
listen,
time
I'm not gonna
I
put
saw
it.
meth in
I don't know Meth's
and I just
business,
leave it at that.
but yeah.
he said he's not a gentleman.
Some of these
But
guys are
you
getting too
know what I
much.
mean? I
Too
guess-
much. Some of these guys are gonna
guy's
get
a
too much
good-looking
props
man.
for
He's
their
method,
years.
man. He can
Some of
rap.
these guys
The
have been too
women
much
love
props for
him.
their years.
Bro, it's star
Actually, I
power,
think
man.
more
You gotta
women
use
love
your
him
star
more
power.
than
What's use
guys.
having all that
He's
star
one
power? You
guy.
can't use.
That's what
I
I
know
say.
he's responsible. He moves
He's
responsible.
responsible. There's a one guy. There's a one guy. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah.
Very famous.
Yeah.
The man must have had sex with a random girl,
Yeah.
and then there's just a one night stand like in the club.
Mm.
The girl must have called him. Had to search for his number. This is how you know it was a quickie.
Yeah.
Had to search. Yo, can I have his number? I have to talk to him.
Wow.
Called homie and said, "Yo, I'm pregnant." He said, "Wait, who are you again? What's your name?"
Yes.
I don't remember your name.
Yes.
She said, "Yo, I don't believe in abortions. I'm keeping it." And he said, "Yo, what the fuck?
Just
You're a
like
weirdo.
that.
I don't even know you. You're weird." But at the same time, it's whose fault is it, brother? It's your fault.
Yeah.
You shot
your
up the
fault.
club in the
You
club.
shut up the club.
In the club.
You go to jail.
That's even worse, eh?
You shut the club up.
You shot the club up in
In
the
the
club.
club. Come on,
in the
man.
actual
What do you think
club.
was, at the same time, what do you think's gonna happen? This is why Drake's putting hot sauce in his freaking in his condoms, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Scotch bonnet pum pum, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gotta protect yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it's
saying?
true. He
With
don't-
great
he
power
don't- he
comes
puts
great
it-
responsibility.
He
You
does
know
that.
what though? That is a lot. Yo, they always used to say when we were young, make sure you take out the color, you throw it away.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
throw it.
yeah.
You go put
He
it
did that
out.
on purpose because he knows he could have flushed it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He pulled out that little pepper pack from his
Yeah.
pocket and just watch this.
Bad man.
And for my next trick.
Even though she takes it, I might push it up.
Oh my gosh. And she was irresponsible. She didn't say what. She wasn't asking no question.
pick it up.
Why is his semen
Stuff it
red?
in there.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Why is his semen orange? That's true. Who cares? Don't think twice.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotta protect yourself, bro.
How we trying to do it in the dark?
Gotta protect yourself. And keep in mind is, a lot of these guys that things are happening to, it's happening to them from way back when.
This is what I'm
And
saying.
keep in mind is, nobody expected the internet era.
Yeah.
No one expected, oh, everything's out the door now.
Yeah.
You never thought you were gonna get caught for nothing.
Yeah,
You were doing things that were a bit unethical at the time, or.
For sure.
And keep in mind, there's recency bias too, right?
Yeah.
The world's a lot different than it used to be.
Yeah.
There's things you could have got away with before.
Yes,
You can't.
yes.
That are not acceptable now.
Yeah,
Recency
people need to
bias.
realize that.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So you're judging people by
That's
a
a
new
good
metric.
thing.
You're
Yeah.
judging people by a new metric.
And that's not fair.
This is sexist. That's this. That's
Yeah.
Now, some things were illegal before, and now they're
It's
illegal,
not legal now.
now.
Yeah.
So you're still
Not
gonna
just
judge
in terms of the
everyone.
culture too. Some things are acceptable. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No, he's exactly
This is
right.
gonna sound bad, but
No,
when I
but
was a
I'm saying,
teenager,
I've lived this way.
we dated adults. Like,
Yeah,
it
that was
wasn't
y'all
even
era.
taboo. Like,
Not
that's-
my era. You got
that's
beat
what we
up.
did.
You got beat up in my era, but there were actually girls. When I met girls that were like, "Yeah, my boyfriend's 27." I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, you coming to
Yeah.
math class or what?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
So,
That happened.
yeah, I like that.
Because I saw
Recency.
they would not.
What is it? Recency bias.
Yeah.
Why was I worried? They,
That's genius.
That I wouldn't do.
what, but they would.
What's
I
that?
gotta go run and I gotta go drop this kid off.
You out here done?
Cool.
Are you going all the way for you?
Okay?
You want to live there?
Yeah.
It's good to get you on here. Thank you for putting me on to another book, sir.
What book do you put you on to now?
Flipping Dan Quinn's second book, B.
B?
Yeah. It's about chasing
Story
down
of B.
somebody that
Story of B. How about
they
that?
think
you
is the
chasing down
Antichrist and then becoming
B?
the
Yeah, I'll be
Antichrist
back.
because you believe in it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Watch it. All right, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
But does the Antichrist, does the Antichrist have any relationship with the devil?
You're acting as though Jewish people don't know about the Antichrist?
No, the Jewish people believe in a devil, but it's an entirely different devil than like my.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yes,
I was
yes,
taught that the devil is an angel.
Actually, I'll tell him, take it easy. Stu. Take it easy.
Okay, I was told the devil is an angel sent to earth to tempt us, so we learn.
Interesting. Interesting.
Take it easy, bro.
Interesting.
I'm not talking about that.
I've never heard that.
Everything. No, I'm not going to correct anybody.
Okay? The devil was sent to earth so that we learn. I've never heard that before. From heaven. Well, I don't know. We'll ask him. Maybe met heaven.
You really think there's a heaven?
You don't think there's a heaven? What do you think happens when we die?
Just fucking rock, man.
And that's it?
That's it.
You've never had a dream of flying? You've never had a near-death experience or anything?
I had that experience, but but
It wasn't spiritual. You didn't
everything,
realize that you had a
every experience you're gonna have is right here. You're gonna have hell and earth
in this life, though.
in this
You
lifetime.
believe once you die, it's done. It's
Done.
done for this consciousness.
Done.
Well, I can't wait for you to realize that it doesn't end. It doesn't end. So that's
matter.
going to be exciting for you to see.
No. Oh, there's millions of Africans living in China.
I didn't know that.
There's a city in China. It's only black people, man.
I think that's the city they're showing you.
Yeah.
That's the area.
Yeah, and they speak fluent Mandarin.
Yeah, because in order to get a visa from China, you need to know Mandarin.
No, they come there for work, right? Export. Import.
No, I know. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. You're supposed to be able to speak French or English to come.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be now.
When did it change?
Now,
The liberals are like
Yeah.
4 years ago.
yeah. No, you don't have to. You don't have to take that test anymore.
Yeah.
So it's all fucked.
Because this woman that I work with, she's like a really good woman, cleaner, right? But she said when she did her test, the judge was basically like pointing to stuff and was like, okay, good enough. So what's that? Computer. What's that? Phone. What's that? You know? And he was like, okay, that's fine. So the standards definitely dropped.
That's why the city is so fucked up right now. You see all these buses they're making now? It's all one face you're seeing?
So funny you
One
bring that
race.
up. Because today, the
One
woman
race,
was the
man.
worst.
It's one race you see.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The woman today was so bad her driving, deliberately stopping short, so people were flying forward. She did it 3 times, and I saw her smirk about it.
They don't even do driving tests anymore.
I'm not in character.
They have to do driving tests.
Hey, I tell you from my personal experience, they don't have to do driving tests anymore. They just go to the counter, take a picture, and that's it.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
They pay their money, man. You pay your money. You walk up to the counter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Different rules for everybody.
Hey, you remember the Ontario thing is privatized, you know?
TTC is privatized?
No, the license place.
Oh, I didn't know the license place is privatized. Service Ontario is privatized. Who owns Service Ontario?
The government?
No, he's saying it's privatized.
That's privatized, man.
Is it?
You remember when they were putting all these meters and
Shit,
they
I
were putting
just
the
learned something new.
they were putting the ATM machines in the mall in the malls to get to and they were abusing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Secret.
Well, that works for me. Every time I shave, straight. And then, you know what I mean?
Steam it up.
Are you getting your haircut today too?
Negative.
No.
I never see you in a chair anyway.
I know.
Look out here. Look how long is your
I never see you in a chair.
He might line it up.
Yeah, right.
Give that up.
You give it
Okay,
a-
I want to start day trading. How much do I need to begin? And what like 3 stocks do you recommend?
I recommend anything. You have to do your own research. That's
Okay,
number
where
one.
does my research
They
begin?
just come back and blame you.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
You have to do your own
I don't
research.
even think it's about being wrong. I think it's about being right. He doesn't want to share his
My luck is not
secrets.
your luck. You know?
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but what does day trading look like then, without telling us the stocks and stuff? What are you actually doing? Like just trading shorts? Is that how you make like a daily profit off
Well,
of it?
short,
Or?
you're short or long. You can make money anyhow, up or down.
Yeah, I'm betting the stocks.
You
up
can
or down.
you can bet anyhow. It's how much you're willing to lose. That's number one. It's how much you're willing to lose.
High risk or no risk, Nisa?
Yeah.
High risk or no risk. But he's saying he's a day trader, so that's how he's actually.
It doesn't
like,
doesn't
that's
make
his income.
sense. Doesn't make dollars. Doesn't make sense.
You are doing guys' hair all the time. Do you ever hear any guys talking about any stock tips that might like help? No?
No, they don't give those tips away. They don't. They don't, guys. They
I
don't.
know, I hate that.
They don't.
What do you
You have to be in that circle.
Yeah.
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 You're not in that circle, you ain't getting shit.
If you're hearing about it at a barber shop, you're too late.
Ah,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably
That's
good.
when the news has gone. That's when it's
Probably
like,
a good rule.
it's spoiled by that time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not for you to sell.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
By the time you heard it, the barbershop was time to sell.
Yeah.
It's not for you to sell.
Yeah, I just think that's a cool way of making money. You know?
It's something that you should tell your kid to get involved in.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, my
it's
dad used to
defi-
make me find penny
It's
stocks.
definitely a nice way to get an income for someone who's young.
Yeah.
Start early.
Literally, had I invested in the penny stocks my dad suggested, like he was showing me penny stocks when I was like 10.
Yeah, I remember this guy. I catch this guy. He was a little happy one day, and I said, "Give me a tip, man. Give me a tip."
Yeah.
He said, "Don't tell anyone." Eh? So he gave me this tip,
Yeah.
a couple of stocks, and I give it to my other friend to do the research for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he told me this one is good,
Yeah.
and I put the money in, and I forget about it.
Yeah.
I'll get bumps if I use
I put $1,000 in.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
alcohol.
Right.
And many years later, I'm like,
Years later.
yeah, many years later, I'm looking at this account. I said, I don't have this amount of money in there. And when I opened it up, is the stock the man gave me, man.
Wow.
I made yeah,
Cool.
it's like 30 G's
Wow,
US
that's good.
on that $1,000, like
Yeah.
5
that's
years
good.
later.
That's what you want it to be. That's exactly how you want it to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to.
I
I
pull
got
that,
to figure that
I
out.
pull that shit out so fast.
We didn't have Uber then. We had to taxi.
I want you to be my
Fuck. Welfare.
A year?
Like, come on.
It's
easier now.
Yeah.
It's like it's a new age in terms of how people make money.
And you're not
online
online
and the possibilities.
So
So
it's the
like
blow
even telling kids, asking kids like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And they say YouTuber. People don't take them seriously, but YouTuber is a valid answer.
Yeah, but I think it's number one, it's very difficult to get into. Nowadays, for a lot of people, it's very difficult to get into. It's a you know what it is? It's a new up and coming thing. It's new and up and coming. Kai's like the pioneer for it.
Kai's doing crazy.
He's the pioneer for it. He's
You guys
making a
watch
lot of.
Streamers
Yeah, I watch
University?
streamers. Yeah, I watch streamers.
Watch what?
Streamers Universe.
What's that?
Yeah, I watch the streamers.
I don't watch TV. You know what I watch? Deal or No Deal. That's my favorite.
Bald dude with the bald dude, what's his name again? What's the bald guy's name? Yeah, that
Anybody
guy
watch that again?
That guy looks like Mr. Clean.
The one that has the briefcases?
Okay, yes.
And you know why? I like to see how far Howie Mandel. I like to see how far people will go when they see when money's on the table.
Interesting.
I like to see how far people will risk it. If
That's what that show's about?
I don't know, it just fascinates me how
I
stupid
didn't see that.
mistakes people make
Yeah.
when it
It's on
comes to
Netflix,
gambling.
right?
Yeah.
I love it.
I feel like there's something to gain from like all flipping content, even like reality shows.
This is good.
I love Island. I watch it like, and we break down personality types like you wouldn't even believe.
My favorite is The Challenge. My second favorite is Temptation Island. By
Temptation
a
Island.
landslide.
Love Island.
Temptation Island over Love Island.
Temptation Island's like girlfriend.
Temptation Island, I watched a woman cheat on her man the first day. You remember that one? And the man said, I am the captain now. I said, my heart would break. I'm leaving the island. Get me out, I'm out of here.
No, how about when he goes, but she gonna leave with me and forgive me, and that fucking
Yeah, that was
bitch
crazy.
did.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dumb mother.
That was
fucking
crazy.
bitch.
I can't
He's
watch that
invested.
stuff. I can't watch that stuff.
I like that stuff.
I like the trash
There's so much
shit,
drama
because
in
then
my life, I like
makes
to see it on
me
other
feel
people's
like my
lives.
life's so
Like,
good.
you take some of this shit.
I used to
Like,
watch
my life's so
The
peaceful.
Bachelor. I used to watch
Rattlesnake,
Big Brother.
you know
I
what
used to watch all
I'm
those shows.
slithering around in the
But
grass.
then what started happening, it was stressing me out. People were so mean to each other, and I didn't like
Big
it.
Brother became so formulaic
I feel
because
like when you
people
have a
just
job
kept
and you
watching
talk to
how
people
other
all
people
day,
were
like-
Right,
being,
and
they were
it
So
was
my-
so
so
mean,
believe
and
it or
I
not,
didn't
my-
like the anxiety it gave me because I
Believe it or
wanted to
not,
reach
my
to the TV
professor-
and beat them. Like, why are you so mean?
Mitch, watch this. So my professor in film school actually told me, because he edited for The Bachelor, every time that you watch, so let's say you're watching them talk, they're in the confessional, if you ever hear them talking and their face isn't on screen, they're being 100% edited. So they're not saying what they're saying.
Yeah, it's semi-scripted.
Isn't that crazy? So we actually did this in film school, so someone would interview you and they'll just ask regular questions.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, who's your favorite actor?
Yeah.
What do you like to do? What are the?"
And then
And
they-
they can
they
make
can
you
type it
say
up
something
between-
absolutely insane. You're like, I didn't say none of that.
Yeah.
They do that interrogation.
Yeah, so they do that. They do that in the show to cause drama.
Yeah.
But keep in mind is, if you were on The Bachelor a year ago, and you're like, "Did I say that? I don't remember saying that." And you know what I'm saying?
You're caught up in the moment.
You're like, "What
Plus,
the
they
But
hell?"
give
if
you
you're
bonus.
talking,
Yeah,
everything.
And there's
You
alcohol
did
always
say all
around.
that stuff, but that's not how you compile
That's
it.
not how you compile it.
It's like
Exactly.
taking
Yeah.
something out of context, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So they'll take even reactions out of context.
Do you know
too.
that game?
Like to have you
So
rolling
say
your eyes
all of
when you
us
didn't
line up
realize at that
here.
moment.
Broken
I
telephone.
whisper something in your
Yes.
ear.
Broken telephone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, broken telephone. Yeah.
How that ends up at the end is like,
It's crazy.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
now.
We did that in elementary school,
Yeah,
and I was
elementary
like,
school. That's one of our
That's so
first
weird.
lessons.
I used to think I'm like, you guys are just dumb.
You gotta sit in the circle. Remember, you sit in the circle.
There's always
There's always that
one
person.
demon. He's like, yo, what do you say?
Do it on
Ah,
purpose.
Yeah.
yo, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there's always a slime. Like, you have to nip the Judas. Like, there's a Judas in the circle. Like, somewhere, like, moving around. For real.
They got the truth, and then now they're intentionally changing it. That's done.
I had that Catholic Parmesan. So,
It was very good aid. How's music going?
I
How do you
got a
find
lemonade and a
But
pasta.
$32.
People say it's easier because of the technology. People say there's just more competition because of technology.
No comment.
You know what? Especially when I come
No
out.
comment.
No comment.
You need to be talented like that.
A plus.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
It
it.
was really good.
For now,
But there was no fucking meat in it or anything.
Yeah.
Who has more clout?
Yeah.
And then that's what's going on. It's annoying. Yeah, like,
it's not that
I went
easy.
to the one
Well,
on
man, like
I feel like if it was that easy,
Well,
There'd
if
be
you
a
want
lot
to put
less.
money behind marketing and stuff, I'm just saying, just still put it out.
I just
I like
put it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
You can put it out, but it's not that, brother. It's not.
I want
I wish it was that easy.
Well, it's out. So
I used to be like that. I used to be.
Out and good doesn't
I used to be
mean
bushy
it's
nosed,
better to be ahead of the
jumping,
ball.
frolicking through the woods.
Nah, man.
It's beautiful here.
If you have
And then you see Bambi's mom just get shot in the middle of the freaking. Like, oh my god, it's terrible. Oh my god, you guys are gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They say the music industry. They say the music industry's worse than the streets.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, don't those bro, those contracts, dog.
There you go.
It's a gang contract, bro.
And people can't wait to make it the street
It's the
stuff.
equivalent of a gang
Especially
contract.
he was always saying, it's like,
Like when
I
I
got
bypass
so
I
successful
rarely
because,
buy
like,
a
it's just
name
like the
brand.
streets.
I like
Yeah.
If not worse.
Yeah.
If not worse.
You're more grimy.
But yo, it's like, that's even with the corporate world too, like, you know what I'm trying to
There
say?
is a difference.
But they just do things differently.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they kind of like,
I feel like it's different.
okay, you're my enemy. Like in the corporal, it's like, you're my enemy, but I'm gonna cover it up. Like, you know, I'm gonna finesse. And we still work with each other. And I can't get at you. I can't get at you, yeah.
Let me say this. I believe that music is in a very strange place, kind of stranger than it's ever been.
It is
And
wavy.
why is because this is kind of the first time ever where the rapper is not as cool as it used to be in the
No,
last
I think it's
30
Interesting.
years.
I think
No.
it's the opposite right
No,
now.
man.
I think lyrics are coming back.
Don't listen to him.
And all
I'm
that
not talking about lyrics.
rap is starting
Look,
to
he's
die.
hearing. I'm not talking about lyrics.
Popularity.
what are you talking about, cool?
You're
What
right
are you
about
talking
popularity.
about?
I'm talking about music
I'm
itself.
saying this is the first time in 30 years where the rapper is not as cool as it used to be.
Oh, just
And let me say why. For example, we watch. I don't know if you guys watch this stuff, but we watched 5 Foreign and Lil TJ
yeah,
go on Platboy Max's stream.
yeah.
Pull that weed out, like put it out, and that turned into a thing where Lil TJ started getting some hate for it. So they sided with the streamer because the streamer is more realistic. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The rapper is being propped up on a pedestal to be something that he's not. So for example, watch this. You see Drake, I say all the time, Drake is probably as big as Michael Jackson. All right, cool. Why do people pass out when they see Drake? They were passing out when they see Michael Jackson. No, he is very influential. Don't do that. I'll tell you what it is. This is the difference, is that when you had to see back in the day, you had to put yourself in the shoes of back in the day. If you wanted to see Michael Jackson back in the day, you had to run to your fucking TV when it came on. When the TV played Michael Jackson and you heard the TV in the living room, you had to run to the TV. MTV had to say, we have a new song by Michael Jackson. And 5 people in your house used to crowd around the TV to watch. As opposed to now, I can watch every single Drake video right now. Right now, I can just watch the video. You follow what I'm saying? So you have more access to these artists, and these artists don't always want. A lot of artists are introverted too. So, for example, like The Weeknd's not gonna sit there and be talky like Kai Cenat, bro. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, they're not gonna do this. Lil Wayne can't sit there and juggle for you to make you entertained. That's the point. So a lot of these artists are introverted. If you're introverted, I can't get up. Sometimes you don't like these people's personalities. Do you really like artists when you think about it? If you met Van Gogh, did you think you'd really like him as an individual? You know what I'm trying to say? You probably wouldn't like these artists. Artists are supposed to be things that are loved from afar. You know what I'm trying to say? But instead, now we need to see who you are. No, we need to know who you are as an individual. I need to wake up with you. Kai Cenat will shower on stream. I'm showering. You're seeing my entire life, how I operate on a daily basis.
Well, these guys are making more money than the artists.
Absolutely. So now you're not as cool anymore.
Yeah.
They make more money than you. They're nicer than you.
Yeah.
And it looks like they work harder than you.
Where is he?
And they don't have as much as an ego.
What are you talking about? Online influencers?
Yeah.
Online influencers. I'm just saying where music is now and how streaming's affecting it. And I'm not even saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying this is what it is. So now as an artist, the people that want to give you money, they're gonna go for where the attention is. They're gonna go where the attention is. Who has the most attention? LeBron James has attention. Give him a fucking Nike deal. You see what I'm saying? Jay-Z back in the day. Yo, buy Rockaware.
But they
we need
could
that.
also be canceled just as quickly by one wrong move.
Absolutely. That's how the world works for sure. I'm just saying, you see what I'm saying? Where music
I know.
is?
Yes, I know.
You see what I'm saying? So
I've
now
seen it.
it's what happens to the artist that is extremely talented, but is introverted. He's just introverted.
He's just sharing his life that way.
He just can't. Do you think Prince is actually that exciting? Probably not. He's exciting in pieces. Michael Jackson. Come on, bro. You hear stories about him behind the scenes.
Well, he had a music department.
He has a music department in his house, but it's the allure.
For sure.
It's the mystic. Sometimes if you don't have mystery, sometimes it'll ruin who that person is.
Beyonce's in that weird space right now too, because she is using
I was probably
old
passed
style,
out
being
before.
untouchable, being mysterious,
Yeah.
being kind of like not being in your face all the time. And fans are punishing her for not being as realistic.
You're not as outside and vocal as Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Tell me.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where are your kids? That became a big deal.
Where are your
Where's
kids?
your son? How come
So
your
there's
son-
no, so you see, for the artist, I don't want to do this. I don't want to put my kids out there. But a lot of these people do it. A lot of these streamers will take their kid, hey, this is my daughter, put them on the stream.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Those streamers face problems too because you guys get swatted. They get swatted, death threats, this, that, like.
So imagine doing this right now, but like live, and people are just watching us without editing it.
What are
Like
these
right now,
people
I
that
could
do
be
this,
streaming
like,
us live.
This thing where they're like doing this and then they
Yeah,
repeat the
if he's a streamer.
What are those
TikTok?
people
Oh,
on the
oh,
TikTok?
No, I know what you mean.
Anytime
you
you
know
go
what I
live.
mean? Yeah, that guy's like,
Anytime you go live.
Frankie Mitchell, react to like the gift song.
They call it NPCing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
NPCing.
Under this section.
They're making money.
That's died off a bit.
Yes, died off. That's trendy though. It's trendy.
Not Canada. TikTok in Canada don't make money.
No, TikTok can't do it.
One girl from Montreal got big though. That girl that was saying popcorn or whatever.
Yeah, but then what they'll do is yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah, Pink Doll.
Is that her name?
A black girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a black girl, and she was like,
Yes. That girl. Ice cream, so good.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They make money though.
Have you seen though now that? What do you think about AI artists? Because you know,
I tell everybody that.
It's an AI
It
artist.
is. Huh?
What do I think about AI artists?
Yeah, Timbaland is coming out.
Very informative.
With an AI artist?
Yeah, I know.
Apparently he's gonna create an artist and sign him to a label.
It's a she.
Whatever.
It's created
It could be anything.
It's gonna
be really good. It's gonna be really good.
So you'll do all the music and it just have legit.
You don't like it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I think the AI is gonna be really good.
Oh, AI freaks me out, yo.
I think.
AI influencers. If you see the influencers that they create,
Let me tell you this: if you can't beat it, join it.
For sure.
Don't complain 10 years later and be like,
have to figure it out.
when your kid asks you, why didn't my mom do? I don't know. I just
You're like
Yeah,
you're
for
like
sure.
your parent where they don't
Yeah.
know how to use a cell phone.
You
Yeah.
guys did their whole life.
My kid's gonna page me. Yo, you didn't buy any fucking Bitcoin, bro? Oh, sorry, bro.
That part.
That was
You
the
know what I'm saying?
one thing I wish I jumped on.
Because I was talking about Bitcoin.
You had like
Fundraising
you had
I
like
had when
3
it was
coins.
10K.
I didn't know what it was. Like 3
Really?
coins.
You have them now?
No, not anymore.
Oh, too bad.
I'll show you my grandson's video he made
Yeah.
for his.
I had 3 coins. I had 3 Bitcoins.
Remember when it was at 10K?
I had 3 Bitcoins. I bought them for just under 1,000. I bought 3 Bitcoins for just under
That's
1,000.
why niggas are really using them because of the IE.
Yeah.
So that's what niggas are really getting them for.
Half a ticket.
Mm.
I have 3 of them.
Been up or
Under a you know what's crazy? The guy I
It'd be
bought
worth
them from. So back then,
millions.
Yeah.
back then you couldn't just buy them because I needed it, and I'm like, what the fuck's a Bitcoin?
Yeah, no one know how to freaking.
So you
sell
had
it.
to go on Kijiji, and there'd be people selling them on
So, like,
Kijiji.
this kind of
I
shit
met up
shows
with a
up
guy
on
in the
the
parking
website.
lot.
What are you talking about?
I kid you not. This is in 2015.
You shouldn't have never sold these.
Watch this. The guy opens the thing. No, I bought them. The guy opens his phone, and the guy had $40,000 in Bitcoin.
Wow.
And I remember looking. I'm like, oh, should we? You guys said it's untraceable, right? Traces back to my 2 concerts. My
You
3.
need a hug, bro.
My 3 dead or alive. I can't see anybody else.
You need help, man.
Yeah, help is right here.
I'm gonna say
Help is right next to
Go
you.
out to concerts, man.
out the gate. I'm gonna say Adele. 'Cause I know a lot of them. Bless you. I know a lot of Adele records.
I would put Adele on there too.
So Adele's my 1.
To see a concert.
Top 3 concerts.
That you want to
I got Luciano Pavarotti at my 2. Luciano Pavarotti, yeah.
Okay.
Huh?
No, he was fire. I actually seen him too.
Luciano Pavarotti, I'd have at my
By
2.
random mistake.
And then I would want. Alright, so I would want Biggie, but I want to see Biggie
Toronto Biggie when he performed here.
in the crowd.
I was there.
I don't want Biggie on stage. I want to be bumping shoulders, grab the 9-2 clip, I want to, yeah.
That was fire.
If I get to bumps and I'm in the huddle, yeah, Biggie
There's
for
that
sure.
famous video where he's playing pool with his Coogee sweater. That's in Toronto. That's the same.
If
The
I
same
could do the
weekend.
Toronto one where everyone was in front of Biggie was performing in Toronto, and he has to hold the
When
mic
he
like
first
this
came out.
because there's
What are
everybody.
your
When he
your
first
top
blew
3
up, he came to
concerts
Toronto.
that you'd want to see
I
dead
never
or
even been to a
alive?
concert. I don't really do
What kind of things are these guys talking about? They haven't been to a concert.
After
What
this,
kind
we
of,
can't see any more
that don't make no
concerts.
He's
sense.
from Kitchener. Give him space.
do that to
Come
you.
on, that's all they
like
could
that
do
one.
out there.
I like that
That's
one.
all they could do out there is concerts.
I like that one. I like that one.
He ain't getting no pass. He not getting no pass. I ain't getting no pass. Bun that. There's all kind of concerts in Kitchener.
Yeah.
That's all they
Ooh, that's
can
a
do
good
out
one.
there.
50?
50 Cent?
You
Yeah.
haven't seen 50?
Prime 50, like 203.
No, but he's good now though. What do you mean
Yeah,
prime?
but
There's
Prime
no
50,
difference.
there is a difference.
He ain't hating. You want to
The bulletproof vest is on, brother.
Yeah.
upside down and shit on
The do-rag
stage.
with the fitted.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now where's the fitted and
Oh,
it's
you want
still
that
tight
one?
on his
The
head.
vest,
Like,
the
it's
vest,
like
the
an old
vest.
head. You know those type of youths?
The vest
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, but when he has the do-rag with the,
Yeah.
so the 50, that's a good one, 50.
No more concerts after this, eh?
Has to be mainstream.
I'm gonna take you to a concert.
It doesn't have to
bro.
be mainstream. Like I
No,
said,
but
Bob.
I would make it mainstream.
What if you have 4?
No, you only get 3.
Okay.
No, nobody even wants them.
The dips. I want to see Dipset
Prime
You
Dipset.
missed out.
Prime
Dipset.
Dipset.
I've seen them.
and the Locks.
I've seen them too.
Those
Prime
three right there.
Dipset,
50,
Prime.
Dipset, the Locks.
Well, I think one of them is gonna come to Toronto this summer.
I would.
One of them. One of
So
them.
3?
It could be.
Dead or
Steve
alive.
Miller Band.
It could be the Locks, but I know for sure one of
Dead or
them is
alive.
coming to perform.
Yeah.
Prince.
No, not these swirlies.
You
And-
seen
and-
Prince?
No, I.
Okay.
He's dead now, but I wish I would have seen him. But Steve Miller Band, I want to see before he dies. And it's a toss-up.
That's sacrilegious.
Eminem or Bob Marley. I don't know.
Eminem or Bob Marley.
Yeah, and that's
I
sacrilegious.
saw the Marley Brothers last night.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
that's
They did the One
sacrilegious.
Love tour and they did all his songs, so I felt like he was there.
This is it. When I saw Damien, he had a presence still.
Yeah.
There was like this presence that came over the stage. So there's definitely something special about Marley.
Eminem's my top. I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I want to. I will pay whatever. I will go
I will go
wherever.
there.
For Eminem?
If he goes on tour, I will.
Out of
fucking
all
I'd go
the,
prime.
even
I
all
would
the
go-
white artists in
I
the
would
whole
go
world.
prime Eminem.
And you
I
can
would go
see
Eminem.
Eminem
I
is
would do
one.
a lot
dye
of
shit
their
when I
hair.
Hold on, wait,
was
wait,
younger,
I wanna
and
hear
that
this.
shit
I wanna
put
hear
me
this.
through some of my life. Like it's
okay.
more of an emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's the
Yeah.
number one.
Because you gotta
That's
remember
your-
how old I am, right?
No, no,
and
that's
when
what
he
I'm
was
saying.
famous,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
that was like my teen years
Like
of
even
after
over,
fucking
hold on,
bullshit.
let me ask you a question. Even over Elvis Presley and even over the
Yes.
Beatles.
Yes.
Or
What matters to
Two,
her?
my next top two, Nirvana. 100%.
I would want to
Kurt
see Nirvana
Cobain.
too.
Yes.
Me
My
too. I almost
husband
got to
did
see
see
them.
Kurt Cobain.
I would love to see
front
them.
row center, and I
Actually, I'm
talked
putting them
about
on my
it all
list.
the damn time.
I'm putting them on my list.
Over
They're the one on my
And
list that I
another
wish
dead
I
white
went
guy,
to. And
I
I had
would
an
see
opportunity.
Queen.
Oh,
Yeah, Queen would be
yeah.
crazy.
Queen.
Queen would be crazy. But what
know
about?
that.
But what about? But
Yeah,
But you could get a prime. You could get a prime Guns N' Roses.
Prime Guns
When
N'
Axel's
Roses.
not sitting on a chair.
I'd like to see Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And who else?
Michael Jackson.
Not my top three.
No? You know what's crazy? I'd pick Slipknot. If you could give me any band, I'd probably pick Slipknot.
Really?
I heard they have crazy crowd control. Slipknot.
I saw Spice the other day. I just saw Spice.
Yeah, I'd rather see like Lady Shaw or
Lady
something.
Shaw?
Yeah,
Lady
over
Shaw, Lady
Spice.
Shaw?
Yeah, I want one.
You been to a Slipknot concert?
I want to hear it.
Yeah,
That
fine.
was a little bit too hard.
Yeah. I like the.
Not this cartel. The old
Yeah,
cartel.
yeah.
I get it.
Yes. I like
You know you're wearing the same shirt as
not now.
I am?
He's wearing a black one.
Yin and yang. Opposites.
Come on. Let's give this guy some
It's an
credit.
actual album or it's like a mix?
He's been going for the last 20 years.
No, thank
No,
you.
that's like no.
And
I don't even want my face in this video.
No, I'm thinking.
You know what I mean?
Chris
The whole
Brown?
Rihanna thing still didn't hold him down.
Chris Brown has been consistent. And
Chris
he's put
Brown
pictures every
tried.
time with his fans.
Yeah, it did. Because
For a
if that
minute.
didn't show, it has held him down his whole
Same
career.
here, kind of, right? So
It held him back.
even though I was
Right,
still
he
listening
could
to
have
it
been
when I
further.
was
If
He
that
was
didn't
there.
happen,
But
if
that
it
guy
hasn't
would have
even
been
passed
bigger than
your
fucking
radar
Michael
to come to
Jackson.
me,
He would have
then
been Michael
that's
Jackson. He
my
would have let him. Because they were setting him up to be.
you ain't
Remember he
really
had a spearmint commercial.
It's not like
Hollywood.
After the
When you look
Rihanna
at
thing,
it,
he had to
that's his
change his
destiny.
he had to
That's
change
how-
his
Yeah.
branding.
His destiny.
The
That
branding
was
changed,
supposed
and he
to
had to be
happen.
more like.
But
If you look at it,
it started in
it's charged.
Because if you listen to the music
That was all
before,
P. Diddy and Jay-Z that
yeah,
fucked him
if you
over.
listen to the music before, it was like more commercial
His stuff.
based, and
It
then
was
after
getting
that, it was
copied.
like these hoes ain't loyal. It changed a lot.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she's right. It did hold him back.
It did hold him down,
did
but
hold
that
him
was
back.
his destiny.
Six pack?
That's
I
how
think
it
Chris
was
Brown's.
supposed
I think
to
Chris Brown's
happen.
one of the greatest performers for sure.
One of the greatest.
But I think-
Justin Timberlake is brilliant.
I think
love
Tory Lanez-
Justin Timberlake.
I seen
Come on,
Tory
bring
Lanez
free,
too, doesn't
free
he know
Tory
that?
Lanez.
No, I think
What?
Tory.
Musical genius.
I think-
Still. And he knows
What
the
do you mean?
business.
That was the
He's
illest.
Let me say this.
Illest freestyle he did in front of
Free
the
Tory
table.
Christina
Lanez.
Aguilera.
Yes. Can sing. And looks good, but can sing.
Fire, bro. Yeah, like
liked
I'm
her
still
when she
hollering.
was
I
thick,
liked her when
bro.
she was young, and I looked at her again in the commercial. I'm like, bro, this girl doesn't fucking
She look
age.
good, bro.
She is
sick.
her voice.
Pure,
By
it's
far,
pure.
So dumb.
She has a
is
pure
the
voice.
best
She has a pure tone.
voice of any female singer.
I don't know.
You know
What about what's her name? The black. What's her fucking name? The Bob. Yeah. You think her is better than
Jennifer
fucking
Hudson?
no? Christina Aguilera is better than Whitney Houston.
No.
Right?
no.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that stuff.
She
I
wouldn't
don't
say
know about
that.
that. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hold on, wait.
Too much.
But I will say, hold on.
Christina is awesome. I love her.
Wait, so hold on. Is Mariah Carey not in the conversation?
Sade.
Sade.
Definitely
How about
Sade.
That's not fair.
Wait.
Hey, that's not fair.
Wait.
That's not fair to say that. That's not fair.
Sade is vibes, but
That's not fair. You're
Houston
supposed to
has a
say
better
that.
voice than Sade.
Listen.
Wait,
stop.
Different things.
It's Sade's energy and what she talks about in the energy. That's all. That's right.
Mariah.
When it comes to the vocals, definitely.
Mariah can hit octaves that you can't normally hit. So
Prime Mariah.
Prime Mariah, And remember the same guy I told you, Luciano Pavarotti? They can hit certain notes that are impossible to hit. It's not normal. It's like a defect in the voice, some shit like this.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
believe it or not, Christina Aguilera can hit notes.
She can. She can. I'm giving her respect. I'm just saying she wouldn't say she's better than her. You know what I mean?
Adele had killers, Badman, singing. Never mind, Bon and Weed. Never mind, I find someone like.
Her two won a couple song clashes.
Let me tell you.
All the same.
No.
It's all about one guy.
Man. No, it is not. The same.
It's all about one man that she's singing about.
No. She remember. Let her go through a heartbreak.
She started young though.
No, she's been going through this
I need the
heartbreak.
heartbreaks. What about me?
Come on, man.
What about me?
That's
You see how much friend me off?
Adele.
What about me?
The only thing I will say about
No,
Adele
no,
is
I
I
love
found
Adele.
that if you're sad, she'll keep you sad.
She'll keep you sad.
She'll relate.
Every woman can relate.
Adele said.
She'll put you down
Adele
there
said.
and make you go lower.
Adele said, "Take it all with my love."
And she can sing her ass
Blood,
off,
blood.
but she's too depressing for me.
No.
I love me a love song.
When did you hear that?
I love me a love song.
Yeah.
But dang, come on,
So give me.
uplift me
What's
now.
it? No. She has those. Rolling in the deep.
Thank you for watching another episode of Shop Talk. Please remember to press that subscribe button down at the bottom. Peace.
I did it.